The game today occupies a unique place in my esteem. I encountered it when I was 10 years old at my local Round Table Pizza restaurant. It is the first game that I ever got addicted to in an arcade. I had played some of the older games, some of the classics, games like Donkey Kong and Space Invaders and Asteroids and Centipede. And honestly, they bored me. Those games just did not have that extra zhuzh. And then I encountered this game. I walked right up to it. It was called Russian Attack. And that's not an accident because the game came out in 1985, kind of right in the middle of the 1980s anti-Soviet Union paranoia before the Soviet Union collapsed a couple of years later. So everything was Russia, Russia, Russia. The enemies in this game are very overtly Russian. The backgrounds are overtly Russian. The game is literally called Russian Attack, although I believe it was also called Rush and Crash in another release, in another localization. Either way, I love this game. I played it as much as I could. I spent every available quarter in my 10-year-old childhood trying to get good at it. I never won it. So I'm going to do a playthrough today. I'm going to try to win it on one quarter to see if 51-year-old Brian can accomplish what 10-year-old Brian could not. So let's get right to that, shall we? Rescue the prisoners of war. Who are they? How do you do that? Notice the guys in the Soviet outfits. And here we go. Right away, the siren. You can hear it going right away. It alerts you to the fact that you're playing something special. And there's this military sound going on in the background. It almost sounds like a snare drum. Your guy is ostensibly a Green Beret, and he's equipped with one weapon. They've dropped him behind enemy lines with a single knife, and he is planning on defeating legions of Russian soldiers who are armed with guns, bazookas, grenades, and flamethrowers and mortars, and also parachutes and some other things too, with a knife. What kind of preparedness is this? All right. You see right away that I am able to liberate the first weapon. So in Russian Attack, you are constantly cycling through enemy weapons. This is the key to the game, actually, because there's lots of obstacles that are presented to the player that are trivialized by wielding any one of the weapons. The three main weapons you get are Flamethrower, Bazooka yourself, as well as grenades. Without any question, the bazooka is the best. Flamethrower is second. Grenades are kind of garbage and hard to use. The flamethrower you pick up right away, and you'll see how dramatic this is. You press a button, the guys turn into skeletons. Let's watch this again. Oh, you can see me actually conserving the shots of it. You only get 3 shots of it. You can see them down in the lower left-hand corner. And you want to wait until you either chain to another guy that drops munitions. In this case, you can see the guy in black and gray sitting on top of there. The game will periodically give you these special NPCs that drop weapons. And with a little bit of practice, you begin to recognize when they spawn and you ration your weapons accordingly. In this case, I've got 2 extra flamethrowers that I save for no real reason. So I'm probably just going to wind up using them just for kicks here. I'd barbecue those guys. I'm just sticking around to get a few extra points. I'll kill another 3 and then immediately cycle back to another flamethrower. And at the beginning of the game, you can just kind of do this constantly. So there's an example right there. There's 3 guys in a line and a mortar dude. My flamethrower just cooks all of them in 1 second. So challenge neutralized right away. I'm going to use my knife a little bit here. The knife is very stabby and it makes an incredibly satisfying sound. Every time you hit those guys with the knife, they fall backwards and then disintegrate. It just felt incredibly fun as a 10-year-old boy to go and get this stabby thing going on. So I think that had part of the appeal. So you saw right there, right at the feet of the truck. I'll back up just a second so you can see that again because it's an important part of the mechanics. Right at the feet of the truck, you see some mines. Those mines are a nightmare to navigate because the enemies constantly spawn and rush at you. They never stop. There's no kind of real break in the action. And if you're trying to jump over a mine and deal with guys that will one-shot you if they touch you, it can prove really, really harrowing, really scary, and very difficult. So the strategy is you conserve your weapon, you drop down, and you use a flamethrower or a bazooka to clear out the mines. The grenade can do it too. So you'll see right here, I drop down, and I blow up the mines, and I kill all the guys too. And I'm just going to go up. I believe, no, I guess I stayed down. So there's another guy that's going to drop munitions. He'll almost certainly drop another flamethrower. I think that's all that's introduced on this level. So I'm just going to stab these guys down. And I'm just going to, at this point, conserve the flamethrower as much as possible. I know that I'm getting near the end of the level. They've got these big, like, Soviet-era, North Korea-style missile trucks. 1985, guys. It was a different time. All right. Oh, cool. I conserved it for no reason. So at this point, I'm just going to do a little bit of point farming, since why not? I don't believe the game actually has a timer either. So you can just sit here and stab. Oh, probably. Oh, no, that's right. Eventually, a different kind of enemy will come and start attacking you if you take too long. But you have quite a bit of an allowance. And now I'm just running up here past these active missiles, apparently. And here we go. The sound of the siren. You know that your first boss has arrived. I believe that this was the first boss I ever played in any game ever. Come to think of it. I played a bunch of other games in the arcade, but they just had kind of a constant rotation of enemies. Russian Attack had real bosses in it. Totally different and kind of revolutionary at the time. The computer games I played at the time did not have bosses. They just had interesting encounters and stuff. This was the first real boss, and the siren immediately tells you what's going to happen. A bunch of guys are going to get flamethrowered, apparently. Turns out, oh, notice that guy in green. We'll talk more about him later. And after releasing something like 14 guys who just jump out of the back of a Jeep and get incinerated, I'm on to level 2. Well done. Unbelievably easy. I don't remember the game being this easy when I was a kid, but it may have something to do with the fact that I was small and I had to reach up to press the joystick and the buttons. All right, right away, there's a new enemy introduced, the Bazooka guy. And they're honestly not that threatening. Okay, something very important mechanical happened right there. These poor guys in blue and orange that are on the last level, they're handed a gun, but clearly they didn't get any ammunition because they're incapable of firing it at you. On this level, they get serious. They start kneeling down and firing a bullet. Fortunately, the bullet goes at chest level and you can just duck down and stab their feet. But it does introduce a new level of challenge. Also, from this point onward, they will continuously spawn from the left side. And you have to account for them. Your mind kind of gets in a rhythm about how often they're respawning. So you'll see me reacting to that in advance. Right in front of me, however, is a 5-shot, I believe, 4 or 5-shot bazooka. Easily the best weapon in the game. Yeah, it looks like it's got 4 rockets. So I'm just going to see the guy firing from behind there. I'm just going to stab them in the feet. Yeah, the enemies in these guys, whatever they are, they're like worse than stormtroopers. They completely, you saw me almost die right there. One problem with this game, and it's a problem in Ghosts and Goblins also, and it's compounded by the fact that I'm playing this game on an emulator. And my emulator I have an old version of it. It's like 8 years old. So it has buffer issues. And I'm also playing at a slight angle to stay away from the camera, which means that when I try to push down, I'm actually kind of pulling almost diagonally. So I was trying to duck, and instead the game thought I was going down. It made me climb down the ladder, surrounded by guys who were trying to kill me. Fortunately, I managed to adapt to that right away and didn't die. But it was way more scary than it should have been. You see right there, the guy almost jumped up on top of me and killed me. But I'm conserving my little rockets here. And then as soon as I see that there's another guy ready to drop bazooka shells. All right. Just going to clear those guys out, move on. There's no reason. And I ran off the screen before that guy could shoot me. Now there's 2 of them. Oh, God. I went down the ladder again trying to duck. I got to get back up top. One thing you learn when you start playing this game a lot is that the middle level and the top level of the zone, because it's a platformer, are much safer than the bottom level. All the dangerous stuff is on the bottom. So you generally just want to stay away from the bottom. I need to pull that guy. All right. I'm going to pause right now. This guy in the green right here, running past the tank, this is the chief enemy, the chief nemesis in Russian Attack. And in fact, almost all the difficulty in the game comes because of these guys. Everyone else behaves in a very predictable way. They all kind of just run at you suicidally. The guys in green are, what did we used to call them? We called them karate guys because they do this kind of crazy jump kick thing. And the jump kick will kill you if you stand there just trying to stab them. It will kill you 100% of the time. You have to jump up and stab them in the air. And jumping up in the air in this game is very dangerous because once you begin to jump, you can't control it, which means wherever you land, if you happen to land on an enemy or a mine, you're dead. So the introduction of these guys in green shifts the entire tone of the game going forward. All right, I'm just perched on this thing, ready to run across. I'm not sure why I fired a shell there. Oh, it's so satisfying to do that. You hear that sound? Pop, pop, pop. Really, really, really good use of sound design in Russian Attack. It was one of the things that really set it apart from its contemporaries. All right, I get another rocket. I think another guy will come down. I think I take a vain shot at him. Unfortunately, his parachute is immune to bazooka shells. Oh, shit. Oh! Lo and behold, it just happened. In case you missed that, a guy in green comes running across the screen and I'm unprepared. You have to almost preset to deal with those dudes. And so when you play this game a lot, you eventually know where they all spawn and you can adapt. I haven't played the game in decades, so I have no idea where that guy's going to pop up. And when he does, I'm totally unprepared and he pushes me to the left. I have no time to turn around and his jump kick kills me. So first loss of life. We move on. All right, back at it with just the knife. And you get retraced a fair distance. Oh my God, I don't know how I avoided dying right there. I somehow ducked underneath that shell. All right, here's another bazooka. You get pushed back a little bit for dying, but it's not as severe as a game like Ghosts and Goblins where you can sometimes have to reset almost the whole level. All right, I'm just going to unload, and we're not screwing around with the guy in green. All right, stab that guy down. Kill these little dudes. The guys with the guns that come on the left aren't really dangerous as long as you just attend to them right away. If you let them hang around, they get worse. I'm still preserving my shells here so I can go down and blow these mines up. Boom. And the reason why the bazooka is the best weapon is because you can follow it. It doesn't move very fast, so you can follow it all the way off the screen and kill 5, 6, 7 enemies alongside mines. Again, very satisfying, very efficient. All right, we're getting near the end. A green guy goes racing by underneath. I mentioned how dangerous the lower level is. Most of the green guys hang out down there. And you can see I'm being very careful here because I don't want to pull a green guy I'm not prepared for, particularly not when I have to... Oh, my goodness. What a mistake. I think probably a little bit enthusiastic and probably a little bit of the joystick issue, but I meant to duck, and instead I stood up to the left and just randomly ate the bolt in the face. So totally unnecessary death. It's going to make winning the game a lot harder. All right, here we go. I'm not going to just randomly jump. So check out this level. I remember playing this level as a 10-year-old very, very clearly, crystal clear, in fact. I had not enough height to reach up to hold onto the joystick and the buttons. I was at a weird angle, and the angle caused me to get very, very tired. This is a pure knife spam boss stage. There's going to be waves of dogs coming from the left and the right alongside their trainers, which are in a green coat, but fortunately do not jump at you. And all you have to do is stand to the left and stab your blade to the left while standing, and then you have to drop to the ground and stab on the ground to the right. And that's all it is. It just goes back and forth, although the waves accelerate. When I was 10 years old, I couldn't do it. I got too tired from spamming the button at this weird angle. So I actually at one stage had to switch over, cross my hands and do it the other way in order to rest so that I could get back and eventually do it. It's so trivial as an adult. You'll see. Stab left. Here come the dogs on the right. Incidentally, this is such a cruel boss phase. Why am I stabbing these adorable dogs? Look at these guys. What are those little guys? Rottweilers, maybe? These guys look like beagles. I'm murdering beagles by the dozens. All right, here we go. And oh my goodness gracious, joystick failure 100%. Instead of stabbing to the left, I just jump because of that diagonal problem. And I jump. Okay, good. I killed the karate guy right there. I jump to the left and land on a dog and die for no reason. I am down to my last man. And winning this game on a quarter seems hopelessly out of reach. This time I'm not going to screw it up. Kill all the doggos. Talk about the kind of thing that's a relic of its era. In 1985, it was perfectly acceptable to make a video game where you killed, 20 different dogs alongside a bunch of Russians in green coats. Perfectly kosher. This is so easy. I can't believe that I thought that this was hard as a kid. All right, we're on to the bridge, level 3. No men remaining. All right, what new evil will be introduced and loosed on me on this level? All right, so there's mortar guys there. You notice this little dude that's coming here is wearing blue. What could that mean? Aha, he drops a different weapon. So the grenades in this game are really cool. Unlike the other two weapons, which shoot straight in front of you, they have a lag time. They kind of fly on an arc, and they explode, and they destroy everything in some kind of indeterminate area that's quite large. They have a big blast radius. Relative to the other two weapons, they're actually quite a bit weaker, but they do have some interesting utility that you can throw them behind you and run in the other direction in a way that you can't with the projectile weapons. So you'll see the use of that as I go here. I'm just trying to conserve them right now, but they're good to just kind of toss out periodically, particularly if you need to blow up mines. I almost died right there. I'm going to go up where it's much safer. And lo and behold, there's another guy, and I just throw a grenade on him because why not? I have to replace them anyway. So classic platformer problem. You've got an enemy attacking you from underneath a ladder. Grenade solves that instantly and vaporizes 4 dudes at once. I go back up. You'll notice too, the guys with the guns dart around and will climb the ladders. They'll go up and down ladders, which is another behavior. All right, I'm just going to grenade this guy again, take out the mine. The dudes running above are immune to it for some reason. So grenades only explode up 1. Oh boy. Oh my God, so close right there. So I had to jump up to deal with the karate guy, which landed me on the ladder, and I just missed getting blown up by the mine, but I'm still alive. What do I do here? I think for a second that I might be able to run past the mortar guy, but oh no! Look at that, that was so nuts. I had to jump over the bullet and stab the karate guy that was jumping at me. I should have thrown a grenade. I wasn't prepared, and I almost died. All right, got a flamethrower now. It's gonna be a lot easier, and I need to get up on top of this level to get rid of all the danger. Just from behind me, there's a karate guy coming from the other direction. Nasty. All right, I'm feeling good here. Fully equipped, 3 shots of the flamethrower. Protects me from any of the guys in green who might show up. There's one. Oh my God. And I panicked there. I jumped up in the air. I got to rewind. All right. So I'm running along here and I'm thinking, okay, I'm prepared for guys in green. 2 of them come up, and all I had to do was just press the fire button, but I panicked, and I jumped instead, and you'll see that I fire off the flamethrower, and it's late, and it goes over their heads, and now I have to somehow kill 2 of the guys in green. Miraculously, it works out. I don't understand how, but I didn't die. So let's keep going. Adrenaline levels extremely high. I send the flamethrower into that guy's head just for good measure. I have no idea what that guy's going to do, so I just guessed correctly. Uh-oh, oh God. Coming from both directions. Wow, and I stabbed the guy coming out of the parachute in the back before he landed. All right, improvising well, but struggling. Up the ladder. I'm just waiting for those guys to... Oh, I decided not to go up. I'm not sure why I'm hanging out down below right now. It's definitely not the safe place to be. All right, these guys also throw grenades. They're nasty. All right, here comes a weapon, at least. Oh, and it's the best one. Bazooka arrives, and I immediately unloaded on the guy that's trying to kill me in green. There goes one underneath. Getting close to the end here. I can just feel it. Would it be possible to get to the last level of Russian attack on the first playthrough? We'll see what happens, right? I'm taking my time here. I don't know what's coming. Oh, God. Oh, it's helicopters. That's right. I remember these guys. So you have to avoid the grenades. They're very weak. Each one takes just 1 shell. This last guy I have to beat with stabbing, and just like that, it's over. I have made it to the final level of Russian attack on my first playthrough in forever. I have no idea what's coming, but I know it's going to be tough. All right, here we go. Final level. Keeping the stabbing going. And I realized I can just I tried to jump off there. You can pretty much avoid a lot of the peril by just staying up on these platforms. All the mines are down there. Most of the guys in green are down there also. I'm going to try to get that grenade. I don't know if I can. It looks kind of like it's sitting on a mine. So I'm going to creep over and try not to get blown up, and it works, thankfully. And then another green guy comes running right at me. Ah, trapped on the ladder. All right, just keep killing these dudes. Keep pushing forward. Oh, cool. Another guy who spawns grenades. So I'm going to just use these. I miss. It lands on the other platform and does not detonate. That's a very satisfying one. Back up with 3. Just going to grenade that guy. I believe he just sort of churns and goes over and over again shooting. Oh, boy. All right. Stab that guy. Throw a grenade there because there's another one. I think in the entire time that I played Russian Attack as a kid, I only got to this level a handful of times. The game was just too hard. Wow. Grenaded 3 of the green guys away. And for some reason, I decided I just need to jump over the bullet. I think that might have also been a panic. I've got 2 grenades. Hopefully another... Oh, my God. I almost died just from, like, the button not working. I grenade those guys down. The challenge level has ramped up considerably. Oh boy. All right, I took out 2 of those dudes just by stabbing them. That's another thing too, is that the grenades don't give you time against the green dudes. You have to almost predict their arrival on the screen. All right, just hanging out. My heart is going 1,000 miles an hour here. There's got to be a time to drop down and fire off a rocket. Off it goes, clears out tons of dudes. Fire. All right, still alive, but out of ammunition. And I know for sure that this is the hardest part of the whole game. I've been here before. I got to just keep running. Wait, he's coming the other way. Go up. 3 green guys at once. Look at them. You can see that 2 of them are in there. I think I killed one, but the one up above is doing his little karate kick, and that connected with my head and brought this mad endeavor to a close. I got all the way. Oh, I'm not dead yet. Sorry. All right, so we're back into it. I died one more time, but I had an extra man somewhere back there. I have 1 more little buffer, and I cannot make any more mistakes. It's do or die. All right, very challenging moment here. All right, I can take that guy out easily. Now I've got to navigate a mine and make sure I don't land on a guy in green. I'm trying to pull him. Oh, same exact thing again. Undone by those green dudes from the left. They represent the entire challenge of Russian attack. There's other games where one random enemy can be your undoing and everything else is trivial by comparison. In this game, because it was made in 1985 and you were limited in terms of the mechanical design that you could do because you'd overwhelm the memory capacity of the game, they did a lot with a little. I really, really delight in the experience of revisiting these old nostalgic games and kind of seeing where all of the little special features of them shine through, where the developers innovated in novel ways and sort of set the stage for all the games that would come later as the medium continued to evolve. I hope you guys enjoyed that little trip down memory lane to the first game that really addicted me as a kid. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Please leave comments if there's some games you'd like me to review. I will definitely take a look at them, and I will definitely play them if I have an overlapping experience. I'll see you for the next one.